have well-trained pharmacists who are well advanced in their training. What role is there for local productions of vaccines in Nigeria so that we're not dependent on foreign aid?
Okay, again, that is also one of the big lessons learned from the COVID-19 pandemic. We also how vulnerable we were. I mean, it revealed, I don't know what word to use, it revealed our incapacitation, because we were dependent on other governments. And they were more interested in protecting their people. Before they think of you, they want to protect their own people. So we were there just stuck, not having access to these vaccines. So, like I said, it's a big lesson learned from the COVID-19 pandemic, and that has shown us that there is no way we can claim self-sufficiency or medicines or vaccine security without local production. And to that effect, a lot of work has now started, both in country and regionally. As a matter of fact, the Nigeria vaccine policy was approved in 2021 as a call-out of that. That is to give strategic direction, to the country to know how we want to pursue this. And the main focus, the main thrust of that policy is sustainable local vaccine manufacturing. And there's so many components that go into that. The ecosystem is wide. The policy is one thing. We have other components. They're talking about research and development because you have to have innovations. If you want to manufacture, you should be able to develop vaccines that meet your local needs. So that research component is there for you to develop that. I'm happy that calling for NIPRI is there, and there are other stakeholders in that space. Institute of Medical Research, the Chemical Research and Technology Institute in Jos. There is a vaccine consortium that was set up, to try to start working on developing vaccines for our local needs, which will feed into local production. Now, ever before COVID, the government had gone into a partnership with May and Baker Nigeria PLC to set up a public-private partnership known as Biovaccines Nigeria Limited. Like you said, we were into vaccines manufacturing before. That facility has been shut down since 1991. So currently, the only vaccine manufacturing activity going on in the country is for veterinary vaccines by the National Veterinary Research Institute in Bonn, State. So to resuscitate human vaccine manufacturing, the federal government went into PPP with May and Baker to set up Biovaccines Nigeria Limited. It is supposed to be that special purpose vehicle that will help us start local manufacturing. Now, with the COVID pandemic, the WHO came up with different strategies to help member states, to be able to be self-sufficient. They came up with the idea of the mRNA technology transfer hub in South Africa. They are supposed to develop they have developed the COVID-19 vaccine using the mRNA technology, and that technology is supposed to be transferred to identified states. Fortunately, Nigeria is one of those. So BVNL is supposed to receive that technology on behalf of the country. So BVNL is supposed to now take up that technology and start local manufacturing of vaccines on the mRNA platform. Now, we all know that COVID-19 is waning, but then the knowledge and skills acquired from that platform can actually be deployed to vaccines for other diseases of public health interest. So that is the thinking. Now, apart from that, there are also other private sector players that have indicated interest in local vaccine manufacturing. A lot of talks are going on that. So, talking about the ecosystem again, apart from R&D, apart from the production component, there is also the talent building component of it. For us to have sustainable manufacturing, we need to have the workforce. We need to have the skilled workforce, because vaccine manufacturing entails a lot of complex manufacturing processes, complex production processes. We are talking about upstream manufacturing, that's manufacturing the antigen, that's the drug substance, and then the downstream, which is formulating it into a product and being able to have a formulation that would actually deliver, the antigen the way you want it and all that. So a lot of capacity building is also ongoing. And then you also need the regulatory framework. You need a regulatory framework that will ensure that these products will be safe, will be of the right quality, and will be efficacious. So fortunately for us, NAFDAC was pronounced to be a maturity level 3 regulatory agency by the WHO. That was when? Prosper? 2022, last year. Yeah. So we were pronounced maturity level 3. So that is the minimum level of maturity of the regulatory agency for us to be able to properly, effectively regulate vaccines. So for the country, that's a good one. We already have a regulatory system that will support vaccine regulation. But we're not stopping at that. We continue to build capacity to move up again from level 3 to level 4. And for that, we are also including the lot release function. The lot release function, because when we have locally manufactured vaccines, the regulator will be the one to release each batch of those vaccines manufactured by those companies. Each batch, each lot, before it goes out, the regulator needs to look at it, do a proper review to ensure that it's safe, it's of the right quality, and it will be efficacious. So a lot of capacity building is going on, and a lot of infrastructure are also being put in place. We have built a new laboratory for vaccines and biologics. It's currently being equipped, and so many other things are going on. Then, in terms of intellectual property, there are also discussions ongoing, because when people develop these new vaccines, these innovations, they need to be able to have the confidence that their intellectual property will be protected. So those are other components of the ecosystem that are also being discussed. Incidentally, there is a national steering committee for local vaccine manufacturing. It's a top-level committee. It has the heads of relevant ministries and agencies involved. Then, as a subset of that, there is a technical working group for local vaccine manufacturing. So there's a draft of the strategic plan that is going to be used to implement this local vaccine manufacturing effort. That working group will even be meeting this week, to kind of finalize on the documents, and then before it's made public, for us to all use. So a lot of efforts are ongoing, to support vaccine manufacturing. It's not only for us to start producing, but we need to be able to sustain that production. And like I said, there are so many things that are going to it. For the investors, they have some concerns which also have to be addressed in terms of uptake. Right now, government is a major procurer of vaccines. They also need assurance that if they invest in going into vaccine manufacturing, which is not, it's highly capital intensive, they need to have that assurance that when they manufacture, these products will